Scott, it's a pretty strange time to start having these awards, just as we're emerging from the sixth lockdown. As you and I have mentioned before, a lot of Aboriginal businesses, your members, have actually been hibernating just to survive throughout COVID. Was there some strategy behind this particular date?
Look, not around the date. We planned this a little way out, but look, the reason we're doing it is we wanted to really show the successes that Aboriginal businesses have had over the last 5 years. Look, there's been plenty of businesses that have struggled, don't get me wrong, not just Aboriginal business, non-Aboriginal business, but there's been some really good success stories. And the one thing we don't do enough in our own mob and our own community is celebrate the successes and hold people up on a pedestal and say, hey, this is great. So we've created these business awards that we planned on doing last year and the year before, but for financial reasons we couldn't. And then we got an opportunity now that everyone's used to doing things virtually. Why not do a virtual business awards in a really professional manner? Like we've got a team of 6 people behind the scenes running the night, and it's just acknowledging some really great businesses that have done some amazing things over the last 12 months. But also, we've got awards for our corporate partners, for our members, but even there's a resilience award, so businesses that have really struggled through COVID, but how they've come out the other side. So there's going to be some great stories and potentially create some more focus on some great role models for our young people.
You mentioned a number of different awards. There are actually 9 different award categories, which was pretty exciting. It was fabulous to see so many of the winners being recognised. Yeah. I'm interested, the Resilience Award, you mentioned that one in particular, and as I was doing my research on this, it actually stipulates that it reflects on the past 2 years of efforts and what they've done. There must have been a lot of businesses that have nominated in that area, a lot that didn't, because we've chatted before, it's been a very hard 2 years, not just for Aboriginal businesses, but the business sector right across the country. What were some of the standout characteristics, without giving too much away right now, of some of those nominees in the Resilience Award?
I think dedication and what resilience really is, just sticking fat, working through your values and trying to navigate your way through COVID. We've had some business do some amazing things through COVID, whether it's pivot and take the business another direction to maximise another opportunity. We've had businesses repurpose factories, businesses that have been in hibernation that created new products that were suitable for COVID in terms of might be chocolates or any arts and crafts and things like this. So many people do so many things, and the stories. We want the stories to be told for future generations to see that, having resilience, being really true to your values in terms of not selling out, and there's plenty of opportunities for business to sell out through COVID in terms of their values. What it looks like coming through the other side and the reward there and the acknowledgement. With people with mental health problems, there's all sorts of challenges that coming out, having business, something that keeps you going to that same direction and gets you out on the other side, something that we all celebrate.
It's interesting you were talking about pivoting, something that you and I have talked about a number of times over the past 18 months. There have been an enormous number of success stories within the Kinaway membership of organisations that, with your support and with the support of other partners, have really pivoted massively. The stage, one of them, no names at this stage, started off with $500, ended up having a multi-million-dollar deal, organising, sanitising stuff coming in from overseas. How many of those success stories have there been? Not an exact number, but it must be quite a number.
Yeah, there is. And state government's actually doing their social procurement framework report at the moment, annual report, and they asked us to provide some case studies. And we were able to provide them 12 case studies of businesses that have come through COVID, they've done things differently. And because government's enabled them to, a lot of corporates and government have enabled Indigenous businesses through COVID by changing their procurement practices, that not having to be on a panel of something, because it was about getting products and services right away to support people. So we've seen a lot of businesses do quite well in that area. Businesses that have grown, they've had never had more business than ever before. Like we talked about this hand sanitizer. That's 120 tonnes of hand sanitizer that business actually sold to Woolworths, and it changed their business overnight. Again, by just changing their procurement practices. And I think some of the success stories that we're going to see in the future, the further growth is going to be mind-blowing. And people, when they go back and they can actually go back and watch our awards night. Right now, it's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Go and have a look. There's some amazing stories. The interviews that we've got with all our businesses about the journey they've been through the last 12 to 18 months and how they've come out the other side is really, really inspiring.
And we'll certainly be profiling a number of those businesses over the next couple of months on Victorian Aboriginal News. Scott, you mentioned earlier, it was interesting that you'd been planning to hold these events, or hoped to hold these events for the past several years, but financial considerations held back.
Yeah.
Now, those financial considerations, were they due to the impact you'd have on organising a venue, or other financial considerations?
Look, combination. It's, you know, to hold an awards night in person with 500 people is going to cost you $100,000. It's not something that, you know, we have in our back pocket to go and do. We're a government-funded organisation, so I think this is an opportunity. You know, we're doing our virtual business awards because it's more accepted, and it'll help us then to have something tangible we can go to market with, and maybe we can find some corporate support in the future to do something in person.
Well, that's just it. You have drawn a line in the sand and started these awards, and they are annual awards.
Yep.
So there is a commitment to keep it going next year, come rain, hail, shine, or another pandemic.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Scott, what are some of the things that you're looking for in businesses that come forward and nominate themselves? Because let's be frank, I guarantee there are a lot of Aboriginal businesses out there right now that looked at the awards on the Kinaway website and thought, yeah, I'd like to do that, but maybe next year. Do they really need to be the big success stories that we see? Well, we've seen so many of them on the event on the 29th. Or can they just be small businesses?
Yeah, look, there's 9 member categories, and there's something there for everybody. Look, I encourage people, and look, the good thing is businesses can nominate themselves, or other people can nominate businesses, and we saw a lot of that. I think that's what the most pleasing thing was, we're seeing so many other people nominate other businesses. What we're looking for is people that have really strong values, that really, it's not about being the extraordinary success in your sector or your industry, it's about how you go about your business. It's about how your growth you're doing in your business. It's about how you apply yourself, how you work within the business community. There's so many different categories, but it's not all about just being the biggest and the best. And you'll see, if you go back, people are going back and watch the awards, if you haven't seen it already, there's some real good success stories, big and small.
Well, I found one of the categories that was really quite fascinating was social media. Now, that is independent of any size of organisation, as long as they had 2 social media platforms that they were active on. Why that particular avenue for an award? That's quite fascinating.
Yeah, look, I think something's been really important through COVID is people using social media to grow their business, to get their message out there. And I think there's an opportunity for business to engage social media a lot more. And I think, you know, if you look at the nominations for social media, they've all done quite well in their industry. And the winner in particular did an amazing job where, you know, her business was closed down, but she kept people engaged through social media.
Yeah, quite a success story there, no doubt about it. Sisters in Business Award. That one, I love it. I know a number of people who nominated and they're all worthy. Once again, where did that idea come up from?
Yeah, look, it's women in business. We've got a program, Sisters in Business. We get funded from the government. We've got a full-time women in business sector development manager that works with our Aboriginal businesses. It's an area we've seen a lot of growth through COVID in particular. Like 41% of our members are actually Indigenous women, and that's well above the national average of women being in business. So we just wanted to acknowledge that, to really inspire again the next generation. I want to win that award one day. I want to be like Auntie so-and-so. I think that's something that people can aspire to. So awards aren't just about acknowledging what's doing really well now. It's to form an inspiration for the next generation.
Scott, you and I have spoken over the past couple of years about the amazing growth of Kinaway and the membership and the reach of the programs. What do you say to businesses out there that are still teetering as to whether they should put their hand forward and join Kinaway?
Yeah, I encourage them to join. It's free, we don't charge for it, and the supports available are amazing. Pretty much at the moment, if you join up with Kinaway and you don't have a website, we can help you build a website. We've got grants available for that. You know, if you go back and watch the awards, you'll see every single winner there thank Kinaway for the support they've done. You know, when I first started, we had 120 members, and today we've got over 400. Like, that's growth is amazing, and that's because people feel connected with Kinaway. We work very hard on our social media, and that's a deliberate thing, so people can connect, because that's how people like to connect, is through social media. We have webinars every week about business development and different opportunities with our corporates as well. So it's free. Why not join up, be a part of a business community that are all mob, that are all learning from each other, and this is self-determination, where you can actually work together with other Aboriginal businesses and create sustainable growth for yourselves and your families.
Scott, thanks so much indeed.
Cool, thanks.